The Hurricanes versus the Hoosiers. IU is favored by 8.5 points in this game. It is the number one team in the country versus what would have been the lowest ranked P4 team to make the playoffs, which is like funny that we have found ourselves in this situation. Notre Dame fans are just rolling around in misery because Miami has made it this far. But it truly is going to be a great game. Um, it's a home game for Miami. Like again, it's not like necessarily a home game, but they're playing at their home stadium in Hard Rock.
Yeah, in
Um,
quotations. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm really interested to see how the crowd is in this game because it seems like IU has like pretty handily dominated in terms of fans traveling to these
I think there's going to be more
neutral site
IU.
games. Yeah, I truly think there will be more IU fans because IU fans are going to be like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. When will we ever get this again? And I think that's going to force a lot of them to come to this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. In terms of the Miami side of it, I think there's a really really easy way for them to win this game. It's force the turnovers and capitalize it when they present themselves, unlike you did against Old Miss. Because again, it's going to be fewer and farther between as it was against Old Miss. And then just get the ball to Malachi Tony as much as possible. Like this kid is an absolute playmaker, an absolute
Hmm.
stud. And again, I think the main kind of area to watch in this game is going to be IU's run defense versus Miami's run offense. As I said, in this Old Miss game, this Mark Fletcher running attack really allowed them to be in beneficial situations on second and third down. And if they can continue to do that, that's going to be great for them. And if IU can kind of hold them to 2 to 3 yards compared to 5 or 6 yards, they're going to put themselves in a beneficial situation when you have to make Carson Beck actually sit back there and read a defense. I say that saying that like he hasn't had his moment yet. We'll see. We'll see if this is a Carson Beck that turned over a new leaf, or if he has his moment at some point in this game. But what are you seeing here?
I think this is again for. I'll start with Miami. For Miami, I think the biggest thing is again, like I've said it how many of these games, it's you need to match the physicality of the front of IU. I think that's and they have the defensive line to say, listen, you have not faced anybody like us, and they have the offensive line to say you have faced nobody like us. They they have this ability in the playoffs specifically to just spam duo, and duo has been a 6 yard pop every time, and that's against Ole Miss, and that's against Ohio State. So and even A&M in there. So like those are not quite to the level of what IU has shown on the defensive line, but still pretty good playoff defensive lines, and they've been able to kind of, get chunk gains in the run game. Um, the other part for Miami, I think you said it. I think they have to convert in the red zone. I think, and it starts with Beck. I think because he is a guy who, ironically enough, he's been good against the blitz,
Mm-hmm.
but the four-man pressure stuff, like when the picture is kind of seven in coverage, make the throw, he kind of doesn't have the arm to do it consistently enough. So I'm interested to see. And IU isn't a team that really spams blitzes. I mean, they'll throw pressures at you, obviously, as every team does, but they don't really blitz you. They'll sit back and they'll make Carson Beck try and go 12 plays. Ole Miss did it last game, and there was a drive in there where he threw a tipped interception. Get your hands up. And so you could create one of those turnovers. I think it comes down for Miami to just be able to, again, they have to be uber efficient on third down again. They like there can't be these like three and outs inside our own 40-yard line. They gotta sustain drives and they gotta control time of possession because this Indiana team, even if Miami's defense is really good, and I do think it's really good, they can get up and down on anybody. It doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
who it is. I think the quarterback is just that talented and that good right now that like you like Surratt could box out any of these corners and I wouldn't be surprised. And Becker can run step for step with any of these corners. He reads leverage so well. Like in this RPO stuff, that like him being able to read inside outside leverage and know when to just release it. It's the difference between a 4 yard run and an 8 yard catch. Like it's so simple, so subtle, but they're always just moving that I think Indiana's going to score on anybody. The biggest thing for Miami is, can they just limit the possessions, and they keep scoring and not have a game where Oregon had, or Alabama had, where Alabama has the turnover right before half and it turns into 7 points and all of a sudden they're down 17-0. The same thing with Dante Moore, where it's like threw pick six and oopsies, drop the ball again. I'm just interested to see how it looks.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it's I'm just very excited. It's
Yeah.
very hard for me to obviously contain it. I mean, I'm almost as excited as I was in 2023. But no, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there, especially talking about the Hoosiers, right? Is how efficient that Fernando Mendoza has been, and you mentioned the RPO stuff, and really the reason that they are so successful within the RPO stuff is because the running game is very, very good, very efficient. Kalen Black was averaging 5.3 yards a carry. Roman Hemby, we've talked about him enough at this point throughout the show. Both very, very, very good guys. So if they can establish a run and leads into the RPO stuff, and then hopefully, everything is clicking on the IU side of it. I'm really excited. I think this is a very, very, very unique line. I know it's, as you mentioned, kind of before we had started the show, the what the line ended up being last year. I know it didn't start at 8.5,
Hmm.
but I absolutely hate the 8.5 line. It's a 3 field goal game. We hate the non-football numbers,
Yeah.
especially when betting on the spread and everything. I'm not going to touch the spread in this game because I do not care. I'm just going to take Hoosiers to win. I'm going to celebrate. It's going to be amazing.
I also want to point, like, how does how does Heatherman deploy Bain to kind of put him
Mm,
in spots to make plays? Because again, I think that's going to be the big thing for IU all week, is like, we can pick on the back seven. It's fine, like it's good, but it's not these front four guys. Um, I wonder how they deploy him, if he's going to play exclusive on the edge, if he's going to line up over a guard here and there on third and pass, because listen, Mendoza takes some sacks. Mendoza gets a little tricky with the football here and there, man. So again, like, that's the ways that you got to kind of convert these things, is you got to get their head spinning, you know? And it's happened. That's the thing too with IU, that like their head was spinning against Penn State in that fourth quarter. And
yeah.
then they kind of rally behind it. They had the sack on that first down in that game,
Yeah.
that drive. Um, and so like you just got to get them spinning at the right time and kind of just condense on them. It's hard to do. It's why they're undefeated. It's why they're 15-0 and in this spot, but it's not impossible, especially for this Miami front, to figure it out.
No.
With that said, I'm going to take IU. I'm going to take
Yeah.
Indiana. I'm going to take the points as well. Um, I just think this team is better than 10 points than Miami. I do believe in the quarterback battle of Mendoza being that much higher of a tier. I think he's just playing at an unreal level right now. And I'm not going to bet against him. I'm not going to bet against this team, and I'm not going to bet against what has gotten them here, and that is just the overall efficiency of the matter, where Miami has been good, but they've I believe they've had a turnover in every playoff game so far.
Hmm.
So again, if those turn into 7 points in the first half for IU, there you go. Like, you're already playing at a deficit.
Absolutely. And to touch on your point, like you said, in terms of getting after like Fernando Mendoza and kind of having his head spin, um, again, it ended up being perfectly fine, not hurting Indiana at all. But Mendoza did fumble the ball twice. Again, they recovered them both times,
Yes.
whereas both times that Dante Moore fumbled it, they lost it. But as you said, I mean, Mendoza is not prone, or like Mendoza is prone to having kind of, I guess, brain farts, kind of the best way I can describe it, where, he's getting a little bit too big for his bridges there, and maybe doesn't pull something off. And this is truly not the front to do that against. Again,
Well, and that's
I
the
feel
thing
like the
too is they both happened when he's making a play. Like one of them was on that big scramble, and one of them is
mhm.
on that third down when he's just trying to escape the pocket to get rid of it. So again, these aren't like, oh man, the tackle just beat him around the edge and got to his arm. Like, oh my goodness, what a play. It was because it was self forced in a sense where he's trying to get into creation mode and is just a step behind. So again, like he's gonna give you these opportunities to do it. It's just you gotta take advantage.
Yeah, you got to capitalize on it. When the opportunity presents itself. Fernando, please limit how often you present that opportunity to this Miami front, because it could get out of hand. I don't think it will be, but it could. That's again Miami's kind of keys to victory in this game. But I'm glad you're riding the Hoosiers with me. It'll be a fun time. Rumors has it they might cancel class on Tuesday here in Bloomington, as they should. Absolutely,
Yeah.
we'll see. But yes, this game is getting played on Monday, 7:30. As we said, Miami. We'll see. It's the last game. My heart kind of breaks, knowing that we only have one more of these left. But then we truly get into to our kind of bread and butter of the off season. But again, enjoy it for what it is, whether you're a Hurricane fan, a Hoosier fan, or the rest of the country. I know most of the country is behind the Hoosiers, which we love to see. But just enjoy it, soak it all in, and we'll see you guys in 365 days, for the next championship game here. Now this is kind